What is up, guys, and welcome to our 20th Fit Dads Live episode. This is 10 months straight. We haven't missed a single show. My apologies for being a little late. It wouldn't be a Fit Dads Live, as my co-host said, if we weren't late, but it's usually my fault. But I did a, kind of test run last night. Everything was working fine, but I don't know if it's the bandwidth of the middle of the day or what, but it just does not want to cooperate in the middle of the day. So here we are, and we are discussing why is everything a remake or a redo? Just like no original content anymore, it seems.
No. Things a copy of a copy of a copy.
Yeah, and it just gets poorer, more poor, more poor. Every version is worse. Like, just think about like Tombstone, that movie. See, they haven't ruined that one yet. It's
Not
still
yet.
there,
Not yet.
And then and then you got and then think about like Space Jam. So I'm 30, and when I was 4 or 5 when Space Jam came out, so I really liked Space Jam because I loved Michael Jordan. Hey, that's awesome, dude. Repair Gang just started working out, trying to be. That's awesome. Stick with it.
Nice work, dude.
Yeah. I was his first channel member. Maybe he'll be my first channel member whenever I reach that 1,000 milestone in a couple of years or whenever that happens.
Whenever.
No rush. No rush. I'm an acquired taste, so.
Yes.
It'll jump up. I almost hit 250. I got really close, and now I'm back down to 246. But if this is your first time here, hit that subscribe button, guys. We bring in good content. We bring you a good show. We do our best, and we try to bring original content to the table, something that's not a repeat of what you're watching on everybody else's channel.
Yeah.
Bring a unique perspective. You may not always like it, but you can trust that it's going to be honest. And, we're not acting to impress anybody over here. We're just being real with you guys. So,
yeah, we try to. I mean, I think that's really what we bring to the table. And it kind of feeds into what we're talking about today on originality. We just kind of shoot from the hip, honestly, every single time that we're on here. And I think that brings some genuine content to the channel, rather than something that's always so overly scripted, or maybe even a copy, really, of someone else's content that you're just trying to redo. You see that they're successful, so you think, I can copy this and be, relatively successful as well. But I think every single time we come on this thing, I think, Chris, at least from my perspective, I'm just shooting from the hip, man, and I think it's the best way to do it. So at the very least, you know exactly kind of what I'm thinking, because I'm spitting it right out as it comes. We don't write down scripts here.
No, I mean, I think like the first couple shows I did, like some notes or whatever, but really there's some, when we cover like different stories where I kind of dive in and have like some key points I really want to touch on. But most of the time it's just raw, right off the top of the head, Repair Gang says he went to the local gym, didn't want to go. I don't blame you there, dude. I do not blame you. It's best to support small businesses. I tell everybody that. Yeah.
Well, whatever's most effective for you. I mean, it sounds like, Repair Gang here doesn't want to go to one of the big box gyms, and whatever, then go find a local one. When it comes to exercise, he went to when it comes to that, when it comes to exercise and fitness and trying to regain that type of lifestyle, I think you do with whatever's comfortable. Some people like going to the big box gyms because, I don't know, there are pros and cons to each setting. Let's be honest, with the big box stuff, you got a lot of people there. So that makes you feel like you're a part of a big group. You're a part of something, and you're included, and you can get your stuff done. Or if you're one of those just want to stay quiet and out of the way of folks and don't quite have a home gym that's effective enough, you go to a small local gym and knock it out. But I think whatever makes you happy.
Our gym is it used to be a theater. They turned it into a gym, so it's really badass. It's called the Sideline.
That's nice, man.
It's ancient. It's been here forever.
Is that the one that you lift in that one? The one you do all your videos in?
All my videos that I'm lifting are, well, I think I did one like home workout, maybe 1, 2 home workout videos, but everything that's in a gym setting is inside the Sideline.
Nice.
There are, like you said, pros and cons. Like there's only one flat bench that's really
Right.
worth a damn, and but it's also not a lot of volume. Probably cost a little more than the corporations, but I don't want to have that damn alarm going off because I'm pulling a 500-pound deadlift, So,
Exactly.
and it's, they've got a squat rack, and it's not all Smith machines. What is that gym? Purple. What is it?
Fitness,
Planet Fitness. Is that it?
Fitness. Yeah, Planet Fitness.
Makes me think of a damn smoothie.
That's funny.
Planet Smoothie. I used to work at this little place called Planet Smoothie back in, I think I was like 19. I worked there for extra cash.
That sounds like an early 2000s business for sure.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And the guy, I got paid damn good and it was like my part-time. I was only doing like 15 hours a week, but yeah. He tried to call me, and he lives like on the opposite side of Arkansas. And he tried to call me, and he was like, man, I could pay you really good if you come over here. I'm like, man, I can't just uproot everything. I got my woman in school. I got a kid now. I wish I could. It's nice to get calls like that, though. Bosses from like 10 years ago trying to hire me because they miss my work ethic.
Ah.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's rare, man. I noticed that when I'm still working hourly, it's like if people show up at all, they're late, not dependable. They don't want to do anything. I'm like, God, how do you guys even survive? I grew up out in the backwoods. I had to go split wood to keep warm during the winter. Like we had a wood burning stove in our living room. Some nights it'd be so damn cold, we'd all have to pile up in the living room just to stay warm. Because we had the wood stove and like a little box fan. And I grew up swinging that splitting maul.
Yes.
And all my buddies on the football team, the big linemen and shit, they were all double my size. But I'd have to bring them out to the house and be like, all right, see you split some wood.
Right.
And they couldn't even touch me on swinging that damn splitting maul. I'd be like half their body weight, but they just didn't have, there's a technique to it, I guess.
No,
they'd all be like so ashamed. They'd sit out there for an hour trying to split it. And they could split it, but just not effectively. Like it would take them way longer. You'd see like 50 little dents in the wood before they even get it to crack where they tried to hit it. Yeah, I was swinging that damn thing from the time I was like 6 or 7. So I don't see how, we've just become this offended and everything's got to be remade to represent me and everything, Why don't you make original content that represents you?
Right.
Where, make it as you want it to be, and it can be yours. Rather than taking original content and trying to remake it to fit your little narrative. Because that's, we don't like that. You've noticed all this woke garbage is pretty much going in the trash can at the box office. Most of them are losing money. And that Lord of the Rings show will too.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
But as for Space Jam, a lot of people, they can't dismiss the respect for the skills of LeBron James, but I will never respect that dude. Like he can shoot a ball, I don't care. I can respect the talent, but I think it's wasted on this guy because he's not a role model, dude. I wouldn't want my kid looking up to that guy. He's disrespectful. He's like the opposite of being patriotic, always
Right.
dogging his country. And he's whiny.
Yeah.
You ever seen him? You can watch, YouTube or search, Google, whatever you want to do. LeBron's whiniest moments or whatever. And I'll have like 45-minute long videos of just cut clips of him like whining at the ref and throwing the ball and acting like just a little kid, man.
Yeah.
So
and he
my
lives
kid
in this
will
country.
be watching the original Space Jam.
Yeah.
And I had this debate with a buddy of mine he like follows the NBA, so he really likes it. I dismissed all like professional sports as soon as they started kneeling at the national anthem. But it's about, I never, I was younger then, so I don't know that I would have noticed it, but I don't recall Michael Jordan ever being like anything like that. I think he had class, like he had talent. He's still like the best player ever. He may not have the career stats that LeBron has, but he's still, I think he has like, he has other stats that show that his talent was highest of all to this day.
Yeah.
But I don't know him all. I forget. I used to follow him. I used to have a bunch of his cards, all kinds of stuff, but get older and I forget. But anyway, he had class. I don't remember him coming on TV and talking shit about, our country and trying to point out all the negatives and just being, I don't know. I feel like kids who look up to him are going to grow up and be whiny little brats, just like he is.
Well, I mean, look at it's already happening, and we've ruined an entire generation. The problem is people need to stay in their lane, know what you're doing. If you're an athlete, shut the hell up about your politics. I couldn't care less about them. I just need you to go shoot that ball. I mean, I can
Even
respect
before he was
but
commenting
I
on
don't-
politics, though, I was
care
like,
about
dude,
politics. It's just silly. It's silly. You got to know what your lane is.
well, everyone's asking him. So, like, I was going over that with my buddy, too. He's like, he was asking his opinion and he gave it. And I'm like, he could have said, I don't want to comment, or he could have, a lot of times, like we had Dwayne Johnson come on TV, try to sell us all socialism, I think last year or maybe 18 months ago or something. And I was like, you little bastard, dude. You've come all this way here in this country under capitalism. You've made an enormous wealth for yourself.
Yeah.
And now you're going to try to sell everybody else socialism.
Well, it's easy
But of
to
course
do that.
Huh?
It's easy to do that in his place. He's already made his money. So now let's switch to socialism. Who cares? He's got, 50 million in the bank. It's not going to go away. He'll still be rich. And then everybody else who's not rich yet will never get rich because socialism, beats people down. It holds people down.
It just locks you in, basically.
Right.
It makes you rely upon the government.
Yeah. So of course, these idiots think we're going to listen to us. Shut the hell up. I mean, you're already rich. Yeah. Now preach your socialism. Now be, woke and want to be helpful to society. The funny thing is they always want everyone else to help. I don't see them giving out anything.
You see these politicians sending out requests for donations, and it's like, dude, your self-worth is like 100, like Nancy Pelosi or whatever her name, Speaker of the House, $100 million or $200 million net worth, on like what, maybe $80,000-$90,000 a year salary.
I think
she makes that doesn't add up.
She makes somewhere in the vicinity of 200, regardless. Whether
it's 200. Okay.
Yeah,
but it still doesn't add up.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, the bottom line is whether it's 90 or 200,000. There's no way on God's green earth you can turn $90 or $200,000 into $100 to $150 million. And never have opened a business or done anything under capitalism. She's a career politician. You can't make that kind of money unless you're being corrupt. There's no other ways you could talk about it.
They don't even hide it anymore. They're insider trading.
They don't give a shit because they don't hide it because now they've got the media on their side and then nothing's going to happen to them.
But just to be clear, I will sit here and criticize the Republican Party just as much as I will the Democratic Party.
Oh
It
yeah,
just
screw them
so
all.
happens that the Democratic Party seems to get on my nerves a little bit more than the Republicans do. I see
Well,
people comparing Christianity to being gay, where it said, "Dear LGBT something," and if you don't want to be treated different, or you it said something about them, like being all flamboyant, shoving it in everybody's face. And they marked out LGBT and put Christians in like all the little slots. And it's
mhm.
like, what? That doesn't make any fucking sense, dude.
No,
I
that's
grew up in church, and there's a, you know, I mean, I don't go to church now. I feel like you don't have to in order to believe in a higher power. But
yeah.
anyway, I
No,
still, I just can't. And I've got friends that are gay. I've never had problems with any of them. It's just when they act like teenage girls, they get on my nerves, and I'll tell them about it. And they get offended, and I'm like, okay, be offended over there. I don't care. But I've also, Benji, he's in my earlier gym videos. He used to come to the gym with me, and he's gay, openly gay. And I mean, like, if you saw his Facebook page, you'd be like, oh damn. But we get along just fine. We were He was one of my favorite coworkers to work with when I was working hourly. But
yeah.
I saw another post that it said, "Oh, all you people think that you're capitalist and you're working for such and such an hour. You're not a capitalist. You're something." And I was like, "No, I work for myself, so I am a capitalist. And if you socialist idiots had your way, I wouldn't be allowed to do so. I would be put into some, what do you call it,
Well, you,
basic position that
yeah,
whoever feels like I belong in, and I would be there for life and get my little government
yeah. You get
stuff,
your
whatever, my little
universal.
allotment, my little allowance for the month or whatever.
Yeah,
All utilities would be paid or whatever.
yeah. You get
We
your
would all be
universal income,
robots.
and well, and that's where it becomes a problem. You get your little universal income, and you get the same crappy service as everybody else. So you almost look at it as I look at it as it relates to the difference between VA insurance and private insurance. And what disgusts me is how we treat our veterans under the VA insurance policy. And then you have a private insurance, and there are so many different hoops you got to jump through on the VA. You have so much longer wait times to see anybody in the VA. That's
Dad's been going through that the past 5 years. I know
that,
all about it.
but that right there, that's a little microcosm, right, of what the whole thing would end up looking like if we were if we were to go full socialism and get your little universal income, everybody has free health care. I mean, what in the hell
They
are you
already have
complaining
free
about?
healthcare. That's what gets me. When they talk about free healthcare, I'm like, you can already get free healthcare. If you're broke, you just go apply for it.
What blows my mind, here's the
I've
thing, is
used it many a times, and it covered like all my medicines, like everything. My doctor's visits, I never had to pay for any of it. It didn't cover my vision care. I had to pay cash for that, and I had to pay cash for dental. But anything else, I mean, and if anything dental becomes like an abscess that can actually kill you in your wisdom teeth, they get down in there, they can actually kill. If that becomes a problem, that they will take care of that. They won't do oral surgery, but yeah, free healthcare already exists in the U.S. It's that
well,
Obamacare. They rebranded it or whatever, but it's the same thing.
I'd argue and say that there's no such thing. There's no such thing as free health care. I call it
Oh well,
prepay.
yeah.
You know,
In
we,
that sense of the word, it already exists, though.
right. That's the problem, but you and I, we can understand that word. We know what we're talking about, but it seems like this, we got a generation coming up that thinks everything's supposed to be free and it grows on trees. They live in fairy tale land, and I almost want to change it to, can we just call it prepaid so that you can at least ask the question, who is paying for it? Because it's not
But it's
you.
not. It's not paid. It's our grandkids that are paying for this shit at this point. Our grandkids, when we're trillions of dollars in the hole.
Yeah, man.
But I mean, you've also got the factor in that our dollar is being devalued by. If you want a sobering thought, just go Google the buying value of $1 in the year 2000 versus what it is today. Or the purchase power, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah.
And they were all bragging about LeBron James. Back to LeBron again. Here we go. First NBA player to become a billionaire while still being an NBA player. They had to add all these little extra shits in there to make it fit, you know. Because Michael Jordan, he's a billionaire too, but he made his wealth, most of it, by investments after his career.
Yeah.
So he, and selling Hanes underwear. But anyway, yeah, they say he's the first billionaire NBA, and I'm like, dude, you do realize that doesn't mean what it used to mean. Like, yeah, it's an achievement. Woohoo. Okay. But go look at what it's almost half, dude. Like 30 years ago, it's almost literally half of what it the purchase power that it used to have like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
That is disgusting. And most of that happened within the past like 4 or 5 years. Well, really the past 2.
Yeah, well, yeah, inflation has killed us. And let's be honest, if they are admitting to 9.1 or 2%, you can only imagine what it truly is.
Oh yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was like, man, they're not ever gonna. And what was it under Nixon, like 13.3 or something? That was like 40 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. And it's like, dude, as parents, it's scary because we got to look out for our kids. We got to make sure that, the ones in diapers keeping diapers. We got to keep food in their bellies, and it's a lot. And I feel weird whenever I have to charge people more, and it's like even parts are going up, and fluids are through the roof. Like I usually order my parts online, but fluids like transmission fluids, oil, whatever. My website that I use, Rock Auto. I'm sure Repair Gang knows about Rock Auto if he's still here, but they don't sell any off-brand fluids, and for the most part, when you buy engine oil, oil is oil. You can buy synthetic blend or castor. It's all fucking oil. It's all going to do the same thing. It lubricates your fucking engine. Okay, so you can go to the local farmers market or not farmers market, farmers like a tractor supply type stores, and they usually have an off-brand oil, and you can buy that, and it's the same thing. You pour 2 of them in a cup, and I bet you can't tell me the difference. I'll go to the Ford technicians, and I'll say the exact same thing. You pour 2 of them in a cup. But yeah, they're through the roof, dude, like double what I used to pay. And the cause of that is the fuel. Like 8 years ago, our renowned leader was bragging about how the U.S. was going to be completely energy independent within like 8 years, back when he was the VP. And the first thing he does when he gets into office is eliminate all of our domestic energy production, or most of it. And then sends 100 million barrels of our reserves off to China.
Oh, God.
But he saved us, he saved us. Oh, gas has gone down because of him. It didn't rise because of him, but it's gone down because of him for sure. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what and I knew, dude, oh my God. You remember the redhead chick, right?
Yeah.
Like, she was at least good at lying, right?
Yeah.
She could get up there and just, I mean,
She can look you
Just like
straight in
my
the eye.
redheaded ex. They just roll off the tongue, smooth and sick. I mean, she didn't even make it sound good.
Oh yeah, she was
And
sharp.
then this new one, she's like, flip pages, flip pages. It's like, get out of here, dude.
She's
None
like,
of y'all can talk anymore. Y'all
sounds like
know
my
what you're doing.
9-year-old trying to lie to me. It's funny.
Yeah. Yep. Like and you can see it, even if she's having that hard of a time to lie to the media, if you would call them the media, what is they call them, press hearings or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah.
I just know that when I used to hear Jen Balsack's voice, I would literally, my blood pressure would probably jump like, I don't know, 40 points.
Yeah.
And the same thing for the Speaker of the House, same thing for, I don't work for you, dementia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Now, and that cackling fucking camel toe Harris, dude, I swear to fucking God. I've never seen somebody that, well, I mean, I've seen them, but can you believe the status this individual has acquired by, when I'm surrounded by, people of ethnic backgrounds, I'm going to talk slang, like talk use ebonics or whatever and act like I'm all hood and shit. Oh yeah, I was smoking weed and listening to Tupac when I was in college, and Tupac had already been shot or something. It didn't add up. Whatever she said, and then whenever she's around like people from the East, she likes to pretend like she's Indian, and then whenever she's around sophisticated, whatevers, she wants to pretend like she is sophisticated, and that's the most hilarious one to watch because she is not sophisticated at all. She is so dumb.
Yeah.
And then she talks to other people like they're stupid, and everybody's like, "Excuse me, bitch." Like, if you looked in the mirror,
Yeah.
like when she explained the Russia-Ukraine conflict.
Yeah, that was funny.
Oh, Russia is a big country, and Ukraine's a little country. No shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't buy it. I mean, I ain't got no love for Putin, but all of the shit on the laptop, it all was record indicating trading or whatever you want to call it in Ukraine.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden, dipshit gets into office and, oh no, something happened and we got to help Ukraine. We got to send them all this money. Yeah. Yeah. Call me a conspiracy theorist. I love that word. You know why? Because it's a social construct, as they love to say.
Yeah, I love it.
It was manifested to make people who were trying to shine light on the truth look like idiots and make them look like they were crazy. It literally was. That's how the word conspiracy theory originated.
Yeah.
But and I challenge anyone who second guesses that to go over the past 5 years and compare each story that Alex Jones put out with each story that CNN put out, or even Fox. Fuck Fox. I don't give a shit about Fox either. So go compare them and tell them, come back and honestly tell me who was right more of the time about predictions and things that were going on at the time. It's really like, oh damn. Because I mean, Alex Jones, he's something to swallow. He's like, ugh. But I mean, I think I'd get along with him, if I saw him, because I'm able to have a discussion with people and not have animosity towards them for having a different perspective than me. And that's what we've lost as a society. It's like either you believe exactly as I do or you're my enemy.
Yeah.
And, you know, the media and it's not just the media. It's like the movie culture, like Hollywood. They've all come together and they're trying to alienate anyone who doesn't want to go along with this narrative, this woke feminist. And it's really modern feminists are an insult to actual feminists. Because think about how insulting it is to women for men to go into women's sports and just dominate the shit out of them and pretend
Right.
like they don't have an advantage. So, yeah, we swung it out. As in the description, I said we were going to swing a little off topic and then we were going to bring it back in. But yeah, I've been doing a lot of talking. So, what do you think? What do you think about it? I think this weak victimhood mentality is childish. And I think that all these people need to grow the fuck up. I learned about this when I was like 9 years old. You got to take responsibility for your own self, for your own position. I've been through this before, and you are in control. When you accept full responsibility, you're the one in control. You cannot be a victim. I mean, obviously you can, but the ideal, you know, the mindset to have is I'm in control. As I tell my woman, dick drives this car, not puss.
I like that. I've never heard that. Is that an original? Is that an original, Chris?
I think it was from How High. That movie, How High.
Yeah, I remember that movie.
The pimp guy, he'd get the powder, the baby powder on his hands, and he'd smack the bitches or whatever. That shit was funny. I can't remember if it. No, it wasn't Cat Williams. It was the other guy. I can't remember his name. It was funny though. See, I like all those old originals like that, but you don't see them anymore. And a lot of people get that one mixed up with the other one that has Dave Chappelle in it. I can't even remember the name of that one.
Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about.
But yeah, I mean, back on topic is that, you know, we do fitness content. I've done a video that kind of touched on fitness, but it was more like fatherhood. Because
Yeah.
I mean, fit dad, you know, there's two. You got two different, whatever you want to call it, kind of two different niches molded into one.
Yeah.
So as we try to work our way into the future here and navigate our children through this shit storm, I don't know about you, but for me, I'm scared to send this kid to school because I don't want him coming back with all this nonsense in his head. But I'm lucky enough to live somewhere where it's still not really hit our schools. You know, there is no woke teachers unions in our small town. Walmart has more power than the president. That's for sure.
Walmart has more power than the president. Is that what you said?
Oh, well, Blackbeard said Walmart bitch. Now gas is getting cheaper, and as far as that goes, yeah, Walmart is more powerful than the president. They're national or they're global incorporation. Yeah, they definitely have more power than the president. President basically has no power at all. He can just act like he does. He's a puppet.
Oh well,
All these.
there's never been more proof in this world that office is a puppet and not a point of leadership than with this president.
I mean, it used to be, but
Yeah, well, it's
we had
supposed to be.
checks and balances in order, and he's trying to act like a dictator. And then the checks and balances are getting in his way, and it's like, oh, yeah, not everybody wants you to hand our country over to China. Their dick.
Right.
But yeah, it gets It's hard to say. It makes me nervous. I used to not give a damn. I was just like, let it burn. Then we had a kid. Now I'm like, shit.
Well, there's one thing to be useless. I've said this a lot, and not just to here or to certain people, but I say it's a lot. It's one thing to be useless. It's another thing to be actively against. In this case, the country, or in most cases when I'm talking about it, it's within a company that you're working in. And, when you have useless employees, that's one thing. But someone who is actually a cancer to your organization, that's your problem. And we have a problem in our leadership for this country. They're not useless. They're a cancer.
No, they're counterproductive.
Yeah, man.
And that's the issue is they're politicians. They say what they think you want to hear. And then behind curtains, they're doing what they want to do.
Whatever they want. Yeah.
And then a step up from that is the black suit that comes in and says, this is where we got our rhinos from. The black suit comes in and says, look the other way on this, and I'm going to give you a shit ton of money. We'll just say, I don't know, 500 grand or something.
Right.
And if you don't, we're going to wipe out your family. And if you think that doesn't happen, newsflash, you really think all these people committed suicide? I mean, come on now. Go look up George Soros' history and tell me. He's been to three different countries and done the exact same thing he's doing here now. And every single one of them are complete shitholes now.
Yes.
Where the elites are in power and everybody else be damned.
Yeah. While he's a billionaire. Again, it's always
he's so old, dude. He's just old as fuck. And it's like, dude, why are you here doing this? It's that World Economic Forum. I'm gonna get banned. I don't give a fuck. I'll just make a new channel. I've already got 2 other ones.
That's true. Yeah.
But yeah. They want that global shit.
Well, yeah. Like I say, once you got
as if one power could maintain 8 billion people. Like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. Good luck with that. Don't have enough. And the Americans, we're not going to kill our own people. The sheriffs have already come out and said they're not going to let you come in and take our guns.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, they can try.
There's more than one way to ban guns than to just simply ban guns as like,
Well, they're already taxing ammunition and all that shit, but we got 3D printers now, bro.
Yeah.
We got air rifles, hand pump. Don't need gunpowder no more. I can 3D print pellets, big ass pellets. Did you watch that? I think I sent you the video. That 70 caliber air rifle. That's incredible. You can take an elk down with that damn thing, dude. It's awesome. And it's not, it's not. You don't have to have any permits, nothing. It's not a firearm. You don't have to get any background checks when you go order them. You just go to the website, order it, they send it to your house.
Straight up.
3,500 PSI. So that's like the amount of air that is fully inflating your tire multiplied by 1,000. And that's why it's shooting that pellet at almost 1,000 feet per second.
Damn.
Yeah. So it really kind of Japan, they have regulations in order. And I think there might be a few states or maybe even counties that do, like New York City.
Yeah.
But as for everybody else, there are no laws and regulations that I'm aware of. I mean, they didn't make me sign anything. They didn't do any of that. You know, when you go buy a gun, you got to go through a rigorous background check. You got to pay for it. I mean, you got to pay for the background check. Is what I'm saying. And, I
Right.
mean, you got to sign. I mean, a stack of freaking papers for each serial number that you have in your possession. And yeah, we might not have tanks, but we have the numbers.
Clearly. I feel like we do. I feel like we certainly
We
still
got
have,
40 million fighting age veterans,
yeah.
70 million plus legal gun owners. And a lot of those veterans are probably within that 70 million. But I mean, just think if the 40 million started training the rest, that's the force to be reckoned with. I bid them good luck in trying to come take them.
Yeah, yeah, I think they're very effectively ruining us from the inside. They don't need to come knocking on our doors. We're pretty divided. We hate each other very effectively right now. Our society as a whole is in a bad way, and it has nothing to do with force. They've already shown that they don't have to show force really to bring us down. And so at some point, we're all going to have to wake up together, or we'll fall. You know, house divided cannot stand. I'm a man of faith. It's in the Bible, and that's what I stand by. So far, we are divided.
Oh yeah, they. I mean, in both. That's why I said Fox can fuck off too.
Yeah,
They try to make everybody else the enemy. I got a buddy, and there's militias all over the southern U.S. for damn sure. I mean, I know of like 3 here in my local community, but he's part of one of those, and he said, you know, I don't care if they ain't woke up by now. You know, they can fuck off. And I'm like, bro, there's people still waking up every day. I was like, just hey, don't, you know, you got to forgive them. You got to think about how easy it is to just go along with the narrative. That's the easy option, right? Oh, everything's going to be okay. Then you don't have to stress about it. You don't have to be scared. You don't have to worry for your kids. Just go on. Oh yeah. They said everything's okay. Everything's going to be fine. Yeah. And then when you see the mountains of evidence and anybody with any intuition or common sense can see that's not truly what's going on.
of course not.
Yeah.
Dude.
So, I mean, I did. I went along with I didn't care. I mean, I knew something was up. I was like, something's not right here. And, you know, they never expected Donald Trump to win the presidency. So that made them, let's see. I think they're getting too antsy. I think they're trying to rush something that they should have tried to make, you know, stretch out over another generation or two.
Yeah.
Because they're making mistakes now. They did a very tedious and well thought out job over the past quarter century or so, even longer than that, of you know, measling their way into the right positions so they can pull the right strings and do the right things. But now they're jumping the gun. I don't feel like they're going to be triumphant in this attempt to destroy the U.S. and then, quote, build it back better.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea.
Dude.
But I mean, that's how we became what we are. Is people's ability to take their individual value, make it into a form of currency, whether it be a trade or, you know, craftsmanship, whatever it is, being able to be independent, self-reliant, and uh, let their creativity go. You know, that's how we got even Bill Gates. That's where he can't, like, what did he do? He can't create a Windows or something,
Yeah.
like a fucking garage. And then the dude that created the iPod and or Apple or whatever. It's
Mhm.
all the same thing, dude. It's all that's capitalism. You made a product, and then you were able to mass produce it.
Yeah.
And it's just pissing me off, dude. But now everybody else can be damned. Fuck y'all. No, I don't want. I don't. I'm not out here trying to be 100 millionaire, billionaire. But I mean, I'm trying to open my own shop and have something to leave to my kids. And these people on social media, they'll argue about it. And I'm like, the only thing that you or your parents lacked here is a lack of ambition.
Yeah.
If you weren't born into wealth, you should have even more ambition to acquire it for yourself. There's nothing stopping you but your own. Whatever's in your head blocking that shit, that's you.
Right.
Your skin tone doesn't matter. Well, unless you're a white male in 2022.
Jeez.
Yeah, none of that shit matters. Gender doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. If you want to be a winner and, whatever you want to be, you still can. It's not too late. Here in the U.S., it's not too late. But I'm going to tell you, there's nowhere to flee to. Everywhere that's been turned into a communist shithole, like Cuba, for instance, they're all fleeing to come here. Everybody wants to come here.
Yeah.
There's nowhere else to go. And then fucking Sleepy Joe, the buck stops with me, boo. Oh, yeah. Does it, huh? The buck stops with you. Kind of like that bicycle.
Oh, damn.
My God, dude.
Damn. Damn.
Pisses me off. But I favored Trump over Biden, and obviously in the election, but I've never flew a Trump flag or had bumper stickers or hats or any of that shit. But at the end of the day, we have to pick the lesser evil if we're going to cast our vote, and be a part of society and, have our voices be heard. And he ran the country like a business. He was a businessman. He wasn't a politician. So that made him a lot more favorable than somebody who's been in politics for 40 years and not accomplished a damn thing. Not a single thing. He's been in Washington, D.C. Isn't it 40 years that or is it 35?
I don't know.
I know he started out as a lawyer, I think.
Yeah.
And yeah. Just, man, watching videos, like all the videos of him over the past 25 years, just seeing how dramatically his stance on things has changed. He used to be anti-abortion. He used to be he was pro-U.S. Energy independence. That's right, Blackbeard, as long as our votes count, which doesn't seem to be. We'll see. We'll see. What is it? We got 2 months. Midterms coming up.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. I don't trust them, but there's mountains of evidence, but there's so much information these days that people are skeptical to believe. See, I'm skeptical of everything, And it's like these people that sit in these echo chambers, they want to just keep listening to the same thing over and over. I want to hear, I want to go around the circle and listen to everybody's perspective
Yeah.
and then develop my own. You know, what happened to that?
Right.
But yeah, as far as the topic of our 20th episode, and if you're just joining us or watching on replay, make sure to smash that subscribe button. And yeah, sorry if you are woke leftist, you're probably not going to be happy here. If you haven't figured that out yet, then there's the door. But anyway, the remakes. The YouTube creators, the fitness, even my favorite, one of my favorite fitness content creators, like Coach Greg, dude, he's doing the same shit all the time. He doesn't get near the volume he used to get. Go look at his old videos and compare them to like a Natty or Not he did a few weeks ago or something.
Yeah.
So sad. I found him because he was providing reliable information about health and fitness on YouTube. And he wasn't, you know, he didn't have any fancy editing or anything. He was just sitting in front of the camera, just like we're doing right now, and just speaking on whatever topic he had at the time. And now it's like he's done several Natty or Nots on the same person.
Right.
Which, I mean, every now and then, you know, they get clicks, I guess, but
Yeah.
they don't matter. And it's really, I mean, with health and fitness, if you make it simple, it's going to be repetitive.
Right.
But at a certain point, you know, you got to bring something original to the table. And as even the new SpongeBob, dude, they've ruined SpongeBob. Have you seen the latest SpongeBob?
No. I can't say that I have.
Dude, it's not good.
Holy shit. Well, I don't have to worry about it.
Well, I mean, I've got a kiddo, so I mean, I'm like watching. I mean, especially when it's on Nickelodeon, Nick Jr. After all those commercials I've seen on there, I mean, I watch that shit like a hawk. So he watches Paw Patrol, watches Blazing the Monster Machines. He likes Bubble Guppies, and you know, I watch so damn close. But as far as anything else, he's really like, I'm trying to get him into watching Little Bear, even like some anime shows like Inuyasha, because I liked that show.
Yeah.
Dragon Ball Z, shit like that. I had him watching the animated Star Wars shows.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because it's I don't know. I worry about it too much.
Well, I don't think you worry about it too much. It's worth worrying about.
Yeah. It's just I think it's like, what is it? The first 6 years of their development is the most important.
Yeah.
6 or 7. Kind of. These are the key years because he just turned 3.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he turned 3 in May. We took him to this badass museum we have over here. It's called Discovery Park. They have a big ass tower. You can get in the elevator and go up to the top, and it has like glass floors that you can walk on. That's a crazy feeling. And then they have a massive tractor barn with like the oldest of the old tractors from like back in the late 1800s, all the way like the steam powered ones, all the way up to like the newest, fully restored on display. Some of them you can go and get on or get inside of them. And then they've got a full car showroom. They got a full military showroom. They got a NASA God, what's it called? A display or whatever, where you can look at the actual satellites. They've got
Yeah.
like a rocket ship engine or whatever, and they do
Yeah.
got a massive, I think 2 or 3 different theaters that are like 360 view screens, or one of them is, and they do, it's like an earthquake simulator.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. I've done that one before. This most recent time when we took the kiddo, but they've got like dinosaurs, uh, actual dinosaur bones, and then they've got also like ones that they made that look like dinosaur bones.
Right.
Some of these massive fish with like, I don't, it's crazy, dude. You would just have to look on their website or go there. It's a very unique place. Discovery Park of America is what it's called,
Yeah.
and it's the only one of its kind.
Really?
Yep.
Can't say that I've ever heard about it.
It's in Union City, Tennessee. But yeah, they've got a old school train that's fully restored. They brought this church. They relocated this church that was built, I think, in like 1895, and they restored it and literally moved the entire church to the site of this museum.
Yeah.
And you can go inside and see the inside. It's fucking awesome, dude. I love it. Every time I go there, I feel like a kid in a candy store. And it was so, we've taken him there before, but he was younger, so he didn't really get it. This time, he likes dinosaurs. He's 3, they've got all kinds of stuff for kids. He really had a good time. And it was really fun to see him, um, you know, just seeing everything. Because, I mean, they've got the they got the full car showroom in front of, I mean, they've got a Pontiac Superbird, a Dodge Viper. They got one of the General Lees that didn't get crashed and is fully restored. They've got a F1 race car. They've got a 1923 Ford Model T that's fully restored. They've got 2 Rolls Royce from the 40s that are fully restored in there. Yeah, they've got all kinds of just different cars from different times throughout history. And it's the same thing with the tractor barn, the medieval chamber. Uh, they've got like a, damn, what's it called? They've got like a medieval suit of armor, but I think, is it the Ark of the Covenant I'm thinking of? Yeah, they've got one
Yeah.
of those. And then they've got, you go in, it's like an old school tobacco shop.
Yeah.
And it's got the displays of like the old tobacco and all of these different like Prince Albert cans and shit like that. And the the military history you can learn about in there is insane, dude. I mean, they've got it's an entire floor basically of just war memorabilia, World War II, the first one, everything, dude. They got um, like decoys of they're the actual bombs, but obviously they're neutralized of these nuclear warheads in there that you can
Yeah.
look at. They got the helicopters, the airplanes. I mean, it's everything, dude. It's really, really badass. And then on top of that, they have special events. Like Hank Jr.'s played there. Uh, I think Luke Bryan's came. Like a bunch. I mean, all kind of people come all the time. Different people, rock bands, whatever.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's a really nice place. It's original. I've never been. I came down to San Antonio. I went to the Alamo. I've been to other museums in Florida. I've been to, let's see, I'm trying to think. So we lived in Colorado. I'm trying to think of what we saw there because we went up to Colorado Springs. We went to Denver, but I've never seen a place like Discovery Park of America. I feel like you've been just looking at your phone the past 20 minutes.
No, I'm
Doing
actually
work?
texting Blackbeard.
Oh, Can't say it in the chat, huh?
Oh
As if
no,
I haven't damned my channel enough already. I'm sure anything else is a green light at this point.
Oh no, no. The thing is we're having a conversation that's so far off topic because as soon as and if you look in the chat, what did it was whenever I brought up the VA, and so as soon
Oh
as you
yeah,
say
he
that
said
word
yeah,
around
trigger
Blackbeard,
word.
that lights them up, man.
I'm sure it does. My
They
dad,
love it, man.
he's been going through it. He finally, I think 3 years ago, he finally got on the VA insurance. He didn't have any insurance. His job doesn't provide insurance, and he finally got on the VA insurance. He was in the Air Force, and then it's like tedious everything. Now he's trying to get his disability through the VA, and I mean, it's like every few weeks he's having to do all these different Zoom calls or driving here and there to go meet these people, and they're always turning him down. And he's got I guess a therapist from there.
Yeah.
They'll fill out the documents he needs to file to get an increase on his disability, VA disability or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And they'll turn it in, and then he'll have to talk to this brand new person who doesn't even know him. They'll ask him a bunch of off the wall questions, and then they get to determine whether or not he's approved.
Wow.
And yeah, it's fucked up, dude. It's like he could have applied for this shit like 20 years ago, and he just now did. And you
Right.
guys are making it. They started him off on like 10%. And I think 6 months ago he got bumped up to 40%, I believe. But yeah, he's always stressing about it, dude. He's always stressing about the VA. He's always talking about it.
Man.
So yeah, I know.
Yeah,
I don't know
that's
firsthand, but
the second we bring that up, it lights Blackbeard up, man. I mean, yeah, I feel terrible. I do. I feel terrible for our veterans, when it comes to that stuff. But man, it's just too much. It's too much. But the funny thing about all of this, Chris, all of our conversation today, and as many topics as we've covered, it lands us right dead center on the topic that you titled this stream to be, is originality, right? You asked the question, why is everything just a poor imitation of an original? And that's what we strive to always do with our streams and our channels, is to not be imitation, right? Not be copycats. I think we come on here sometimes, and you're going to be able to really kind of get inside of our heads as we just kind of conversate, give our candid thoughts on many different topics. Of course, we always try to make sure that we're giving good advice on the health and fitness side of things, because that's really what our true aim is. But you're also not going to get us to pull punches on any other topic that may be a little sticky for someone else to cover, who maybe has big sponsorships or things like that, or has a bigger channel and doesn't want to risk this, that, or the other. I mean, of course, we're not trying to lose our respective channels or anything, but at the same time, I don't feel like we pull very many punches, and I think that our audience and our community, as it grows, will appreciate that. I don't know what you think about that, Chris.
well, you see some of the big channels like Crowder, get demonetized, but then there's also still channels like Gothics, the Quartering, Liberal Hive Mind. They've all still got their monetization.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what it is that makes them make that call. They haven't banned Crowder, and I'm not monetized to begin with, so
Right.
I don't really worry about it at all, because what do I have to lose? 250 subscribers. The ones who count will come to my other channel. So, and anyone who cares to do so, in the top of the chat, where is it at? Oh, it restarted on me. It should show up. If you're watching from YouTube, it should show up where it's the power of compressed air. That's one of my other channels,
Oh,
and it
okay.
says that you know 20 shows. That's a milestone. I just pointed that out because I came over from the other channel. I didn't even notice that I was chatting from the other channel, but I was in my damn dude, brain fart. My internet, my internet search instead of the YouTube app. I was in my
Yeah.
internet because I had to set up the stream through there, and I've got
Mhm.
my like basic description in
Yeah.
my notes on my phone, so I just copy and paste it over, and then I usually go through and open the show up through the computer. But yeah, I mean, we got off topic. I'm just gonna put a chapter for like 30 minutes, like off topic. But
Well, I don't think we got off topic.
it's
I think,
I was just like being real with you guys.
yeah,
Like
I
I
mean,
said, if y'all haven't figured out that I have more conservative values than I do libertarian by now, I mean liberal by now, then there's the door. As I said, if that offends you anyway, which it shouldn't. I mean, I don't get offended when I talk to somebody who's liberal or blue voter or whatever. I just kind of want to pick their brain a little bit. Like, come on, tell me, why do you see things that way? But even asking them questions triggers them. They don't want to back up their own perspective. They don't want to talk about it, or they don't want to, or you get labeled. They call you names because you ask questions.
yeah,
And, you never stop learning or growing as a person. And to grow as a person, you got to learn. So I feel like to, you know, successfully or, yeah, successfully do that, you want to seek the wisdom of as many perspectives as you can,
yeah,
not close off your mind to every other perspective. That seems really just stupid to me. But the ominous they want to do that. They don't want free discussion anymore.
yeah,
You go back even 10 years, they still did debates. Now they don't even do debates anymore, dude. They can't even ask them questions because they know already that they can't answer them.
yeah, yeah.
That's
Oh,
fucked up. That doesn't send red flags. I don't care if you stand on blue or in the middle, where that should send so many flags up that they can't even debate. They cannot even stand their ground and back up why they say what they say and do what they do.
sure, sure. Well,
That's a shitty politician, dude. You
it's,
know,
it's the world we live in, man. But that's why we
they're
have
all
a panel. We
lawyers.
have a
They're
voice.
supposed to be good at lying. What happened? Y'all used to be good at lying. Now you fucking suck at it, idiots. And I mean, I've lost a lot of respect for. I mean, I was probably in the middle for most of my life. And I might have leaned a little bit left back when I was a pothead and didn't really do shit productive, but my core values have pretty much remained the same. And as Elon Musk said, they've taken the line and just ran so far left with it that even people who used to lean left now are considered conservative. So, it's hard to say.
Yeah,
But like I said, I grew up in church. Sure, that has something to do with my moral compass, but I don't think you have to be religious to know what's right and wrong.
no, no. Everybody knows inherently.
You've
What?
got a conscience, right?
Yeah,
Most people do. If you don't, then you're clinically insane, or you have, what is it called? It's like it's a mental illness.
yeah.
What is it called? The people who hear voices and shit. Um,
Oh shoot, there's so many
they're
no.
they're notorious for committing murders all the time, and they like have no.
Like sociopath or psychopath?
It's something else.
Couldn't say.
Can't remember what it is. Schizophrenia. That's what it is.
Okay.
Yeah. Basically, I mean, in the psychopath, sociopath, I think they're kind of like a low pro schizophrenia too,
Yeah.
because it's that lack of a conscience. Like I can't tell what's right or wrong, or I don't care
Right.
if something's wrong. You know,
Right.
which there's a big difference in, uh, you know, seeing somebody drop their wallet and picking it up and giving it to them, or taking it and shooting somebody to take their wallet.
Right.
But there are still people who can't see that line. You know, you see
Right.
somebody drop their wallet, some people grab it and say, "Hey, drop this." Some people grab it, take the money out, and say, "Hey, you dropped this." Somebody will just grab it, get everything of value out, and throw it in the trash. And then some people will run up and stick a gun to your head and take your wallet.
Yeah.
The only person I have a problem with really is the one who, well, a lot of them are scumbags and they can't even afford guns, so they use a knife. And then their, would be victim is carrying as they should be, then they get shot. And we're down one piece of shit. That's what I think, dude. I think that any women who aren't psychos need to be carrying weapons, because any would-be rapists would be eliminated. Think of all the rapists that would. I mean, you can look up statistics actually on that. How many people are shot in the attempt, shot by their victim while they were trying to rape a woman, and that might blow your mind. It did me. It's a lot. And so when they try to outlaw guns, you're basically saying, fuck these women that would have been raped. Let them get raped. I'm going to take the other side and say, no, fuck that rapist. Give him another bullet. Shoot him again. I don't have any sympathy for rapists, pedophiles, creeps, any of that shit. These weirdos that are always in, it doesn't even matter, dude. They're always in their inbox. Hey. Brittany shows them to me all the time. She'll have like 50 of them. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you dudes, man? Stop fucking doing that shit. You think the fucking 90th time she's going to answer? No. That's God, I don't understand them, dude. Fucking weirdos.
I don't.
Has that ever worked for dudes? I don't understand. I've never seen it work. Of course, I've never really had any friends that did that shit that I knew of, so I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I've never employed
Maybe the 90th time she does answer.
I don't know. Yeah, never employed the tactics, so I could not say. And nobody I hang out with is that way. You are who you surround yourself with, is what I've always been told, and also now been taught through life experience. You are who you hang out with.
Yeah, that was my stepdad's motto. He always said, "My 5 closest friends was who I was." Basically.
Yeah, basically.
Rang true.
Very true. Very true.
But yeah. Back to the topic: originality.
We're already here.
Episode 20.
Yeah, buddy.
You might want to go do a recount just to make sure I didn't miscount, but I'm pretty sure this one is episode 20. I'm going to remake my description, like my basic description, to list out the episodes in reverse order. So it'll be like in the description, it'll say our last show, episode 19, 18, 17, you know, and it'll go all the way down. Right now, I've got a bunch of our shows in there. As always, your channel is listed there. So everyone watching right now or on playback, make sure you go subscribe to Michael's channel. So we're going to get to, he's going to host the show next week or the week after next. He's going to be on the beach.
Yep.
So maybe we'll see some sexy ladies in the background or something running by.
Never
You know, melons bouncing. Who knows? But yeah, Coach Greg did a bunch of videos on the beach.
Did he?
I wonder where he goes to the beach. Doesn't he live in like Ontario or something?
I honestly have no clue.
I used to want to go to Canada so bad, and I wanted to go to Hudson Bay because it's not an ocean, but it's like such a vast water that you can't see the other side. So it's like a mix between the ocean and a big ass lake. Look at it on a map next time you get a chance. Look at Hudson Bay, and it's in Canada. I've always wanted to go there because I never, unless I just absolutely have to, I'm never going to be out on the fucking ocean, you know, on the sea. I just don't think that's where we belong. And yeah, fuck that. I'll fly over that shit, but I'm not fucking getting on a boat ever. Not going out. I mean, I'll go down the river, go fishing all the time, but fuck going out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, that's a scary thought.
Some people love it, but I'm like, no. I didn't even like getting on the plane, honestly. And I was only on like a 2-hour flight. And it was a little flight. It was a little jet. So that motherfucker caught all the turbulence.
Yeah, it's not good.
Yeah, it was like, oh my gosh. But I would still opt for the plane. If I go to Europe, I'm opting for the plane.
Yeah, man.
I think they should have built a damn tunnel by now already.
Well,
hell, they could just 3D print the motherfucker and just drop it. That's what they did with all the. I mean, they didn't 3D print them, but like you know, most of our internet and everything is still ran by cables more than satellites, right?
Yeah.
They ran cables, but with boats across all the way across the ocean. That's how they connected our first phone lines to Europe.
Yeah.
Big ass cables, and they have to go out and fix them all the time. There's like millions of miles, I think, of cables ran all over the. They're all underwater, under the ocean, on the ocean floor.
Dude, it's
I didn't know that. I thought we were like primarily satellites nowadays. No. Still a fucking landline.
Well,
everything.
I'm gonna tell you right now, everybody on playback and live, you just go ahead and reference that title of this stream, and you tell me that we're not original.
They'll probably say more off topic. But no, it is. It was mainly about the kids, dude. It's always going to be, you know, if you hear me talking about politics, culture, whatever, the underlying premises for that is I have a kid that I have to worry about. And I'm like trying to seek out the best future for him that I can.
Absolutely.
And then if that means putting myself on the line, I don't mind. If that means putting my channel on the line, I don't give a shit about that. You know, to me, it's worth it. If one person watches this show and hears what I have to say, sees that, oh, well, this guy's got like a different perspective, and it's okay. It's okay to have a different perspective. You don't have to go to church. You don't have to damn be religious or any of that shit to know what's right, to wake up and just have some common sense or take responsibility for yourself, especially if you got kids, dude.
Sure.
We've already got too many little shits running around because of these deadbeat dads. That's another motherfucker I ain't got no respect for, is a deadbeat. Like somebody who could take care of his kids but chooses not to.
Yeah.
Those yeah. Ain't got no respect for them either.
Yeah.
The way I see it, if I can grow the fuck up and jump out of the shit storm that I was in and man up and be a dad, then anybody can. I don't see no excuses.
Yeah, it's just personal responsibility is all. Personal responsibility. So, but I
But
say,
yeah, I guess, you know, not to try to offend anybody, but if you get offended easily, I don't know why you're here in the first place. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend our show to anybody who's easily triggered or can't control their emotions. I
no,
mean, you can come and get our views on health and fitness. You know, we can give you accurate information on how to lose weight, build muscle, whatever you want. But navigating life in general as a fit dad, that is the premises of my channel. So,
yeah,
and I would say yours as well. I mean, Fit Dad's live.
yeah, pretty much. Pretty much.
But we're about an hour and 20 minutes in, and we were about 10 minutes late. You got to get back to work, don't you?
You know, man.
Oh, you're good?
No, yeah. I'm always busy, man. I'm ready to keep this thing, get this thing on the ground. So yeah, well, I can get back to these kids are running around crazy over here. I don't know about your son, but mine are.
Well, got lucky today. Brittany's off work, so she's got him in there in the bedroom.
Ah, you did get
Yeah,
lucky. Not
that's
me.
why he's not screaming in the background like usual. But oh man, I guess I'm gonna have to invest in a new computer.
Yeah.
But y'all have a safe trip whenever you go to Florida.
Oh yeah, man. We have a good time.
Everybody, make sure you go. First link in the description is Michael's channel, and the second link is his Instagram. So make sure you go follow him. If you want to follow me on Instagram, bottom of the description box, you'll find all my social media: Twitter, Facebook page, all that stuff. And make sure to hit subscribe on my channel as well. Turn notifications on.
You
We
got
go
it.
live 2 p.m. Central once every 2 weeks. This is episode 20. So 2 weeks from today on my co-host here, Michael's channel, we will be we'll be live, episode 21.
You got it. You got it, man. Looking forward to it. And I can't thank everybody enough for showing up live and on the playback. Guys, we gave you something original today. We delivered on that title, on Chris's title. So don't be messing around with copycats. I mean, they're out there. You're gonna consume that type of content. Let's be honest, we all do at some point or the other. But we all tend to come back to the original stuff. So we thank y'all for showing up, and definitely hit that like and subscribe button, and be ready for us in a couple of weeks. What'd you say, Chris?
That's it, man. Sounds good. Y'all have
All
a
right.
good one.
Y'all have a good one.